Right, good afternoon everyone. As you've heard, I'm Debbie and this is Amber from Home Retail Group, and yes, we're in Milton Keynes and it's more than cars and roundabouts. I have the strange job title of Colleague Services Manager, but after today I think I'm going to change it to Colleague Engagement Manager.
Yeah, like it.
So, which actually just means that I manage 3 teams across Home Retail Group. One is the Employee Benefits team, one is the Pensions team, and one is an HR Query team. And Amber heads up the Employee Benefits team for me. So, as it says, we're going to talk to you about having engaging communications on a very limited budget across a very large and diverse workforce. Yep, it works. So what is a limited budget? I've worked across several different organisations and it means different things to different people. So as you've heard us say before, we're a very large organisation. We have 47,000 employees at the moment. We're in 1,000 locations across the UK and Ireland. And this week we launched the Smart Hub across the whole company. So what sort of budget do you think we might have had to do that? Any guesses? 100,000. Anybody else? £10. Yep, you're the closest. Absolutely zero. We had a big fat zero to actually do all our communications with. So that was a bit of a challenge for us. So I'm just going to take you a little bit through who Home Retail Group are and why we have a big fat zero for our budget. So in 2006, Home Retail Group was formed, and it was at that point just Homebase, Argos and financial services. And in 2011, we took over Habitat as well. Sales are 5.7 billion, and we sell over 80,000 products. And we also own other brands. So we have Schreiber and Hygiena as our furniture brands, and we also have Bush and Alba in consumer electronics. And Chad Valley, which possibly quite a few of you will know if you've got children, which is one of the largest toy brands in the UK now. So again, you can see our different brand names up there. Some of us, like me and Amber, just work for Home Retail Group, where we serve the whole group. Other people work particularly in their own brands, and each brand has its own culture and its own identity, which gives us challenges in itself when we're trying to communicate across the board. And colleagues work in all different environments. So they're in the head offices, they're in distribution, which have shift workers, they're in retail shops, they're in the field, they're in call centres. We have over 1,000 stores, we have 3 transactional websites, we have 2 mobile shopping apps, and we have the UK's biggest home delivery operation. So that makes us one of the UK's largest multi-channel retailers. But times are changing, and we're having to transform the business rapidly. So Glenn referred earlier to the fact that change is happening around us very, very fast, and customers' shopping habits are changing very rapidly. So nearly everyone interacts with a digital device at some point in their shopping journey now, and everybody wants everything now. They want it when they want it, they want it how they want it. And so we've got to react very fast to that. On top of the fact there's also been the recession. So to be able to survive and to grow, we've had to transform the businesses very rapidly, and we're about halfway through a 5-year programme on that. And to survive and grow has meant huge investment. So all the money, and this is why we have no budget, all the money has gone into the transformation of the business, which is about updating technology, it's about updating nearly all our stores across the group, and it's about implementing lots of new innovations. So that could be sort of fast pay processes in stores, or it could be things like we are having pop-up stores. So Argos you'll find popping up inside Homebases now, and this summer you'll find Argos is popping up inside Sainsbury's. And all of that also means it changes the way we work. And so a lot of investment has to go into training colleagues. And within that, we've also had the creation of transformers. So where Lisa was talking about having advocates, these are the advocates for change within the business, which of course we have also been able to link into for our own communications. So this is an example. I'm sure some of you, or most of you, have probably been in an old Argos store with the catalogues and the little blue pencils. But this is what a new Argos store looks like. And this is what they're all gradually turning over to. So it looks quite different. And this is an example of a pop-up store in a Sainsbury's. This is what they're going to look like. And because we have a partnership with eBay now, you can also get your eBay purchases delivered to Argos stores and go and collect them up. So while you're getting your Sainsbury's shopping, you'll be able to pick up your eBay purchases, go to Argos, do all sorts of things. So in summary, we are a very large, diverse retailer in a very constantly changing market, and we're investing heavily in the future. So what does that mean for us trying to engage our colleagues, and particularly within the employee benefits? It does give us a lot of challenges. And the main challenge really at the moment is that because times have been tough and because we're transforming, that means a lot of restructures. It means a lot of change. It means a lot of cuts. So the sort of cuts we've had is recently company cars have been taken away. Not popular, I can tell you. And we've got like 75 home-based stores closing, restructures within head offices, some jobs changing, some jobs going. Now, all of that is an impact on colleagues. And transformation is exciting, and there's a lot of exciting stuff going on, but the other side of that is the uncertainty. And when there is uncertainty, there's a temptation to be quiet about things. But we have to get that balance right. This is the time when we do need to shout, and we need to say why it's a great place to work and tell people about the benefits and keep people motivated. But at the same time, trying to be sensitive to those people who have been adversely impacted. And one of the other things with that is being mindful of people's perception on spend. So in the past, we have done some sort of fun things, if you like, with communications. So Save As You Earn, we've sent out little chocolate piggy banks and things like that. But while times are tough and budgets are being squeezed, it's not the thing to do. If people think you're being frivolous with the money, really it's not a good perception from the colleagues. The other sort of challenges are communication challenges. We're a very busy organisation. There is a constant stream of business critical information going out to everybody. And we have to work very closely with the operations teams and our internal communications teams to get the timing right. We often have a tiny window in which we can go out and communicate. We also need very engaged managers. They are vital to us. Engaged managers will engage their teams. But again, they're very busy. They have all sorts of targets to achieve. They have all sorts of other communications coming in at them. So us trying to get them to engage and talk about benefits to their teams is quite a challenge. And of course, the actual budget constraint. There was none. So those are the kind of challenges we face within Home Retail Group at the moment. But as I say, we've just launched the Smart Hub, so I'm going to hand over to Amber now, who's going to talk you through, as benefits manager, the sorts of things she thought about and how we went about actually doing the communications for that.
Thanks, Debbie. Hi, everyone. Can I have the clicker? Like a clicker. Right, so, yes, consideration. So I love my benefits. I'm a massive believer in my benefits, and I was very, very excited about launching Smart Hub. But obviously, with no budget, and things I have to take into account, there's some careful planning to do. Company culture. As Debbie touched on, within Home Retail Group, we have 3 very visible cultures. We have Argos. Argos are very corporate. We have Homebase, probably a bit more fun-loving, and we have Habitat, who are very, very trendy and probably don't really like being associated with Argos. Within the company, we have a huge age range. We have colleagues that are 16 right through to colleagues that sort of are 86, which is great. In our local home base, actually, I think the lady I was talking to last week was 88. Looked absolutely fantastic. It's obviously what working for home base does. We have a pretty equal mix of male and female. We have various shifts. We have a full-time, and we have a lot of part-time colleagues. And with part-time colleagues, we have to take that into consideration because actually we don't get a lot of time to connect with these people. They may be just, running in for 4 hours between picking up the kids and what have you. So, we don't get that audience time with them. As Debbie says, we're scattered over 1,000 locations, both in UK and ROI. And not all of our colleagues have access to a computer whilst they're in work. So that's something we really do have to take into account, especially in distribution and in retail. So as you can see, we are very diverse. We also have to be careful picking the right offers. We have to look at the audience, and when we're choosing an offer, what's really going to fit that audience. So when we're sending out to our retail staff, they're probably not going to want a 10% discount on Harrods Foods, but they probably are going to want one for Asda. So it's just showing that we're getting the offers right so they start to engage with... Oh, it does. Sorry. So what else do I consider? So doing sort of a big launch like Smart Hub, I consider the purpose. So what is it that I'm trying to achieve? What do I need from other people in the business to help me communicate that message? And never underestimate the challenge. It is a huge challenge. We have so much to take into account, and we need to get it right. What can I hook them in with? A great deal. That's always great. Competition, that always works. So again, choosing the right thing that's going to hook people in. And we plan. So we always do a very detailed plan, and we've worked very closely with Reward Gateway to design the right communications. You're probably fed up with us. Because with the different various audiences, we have to take an awful lot into account, and we can be quite a picky customer. We do seek feedback. Don't be afraid of feedback. You're not always going to hear what you want to hear, but do take it on board. And if there's something you can change, show that you can change that. Again, people will engage when they can see you doing that. So we have launched quite a few things over the last few years. So what have we sort of learnt from that? Probably quite key is a real mixture of methods. The head office, that's really easy to communicate with. There's so much we can do. But actually what works in stores probably doesn't work in distribution, doesn't work in call centres. So that's why we have to plan so carefully, engage with our champions at the various sites, say what do you want, what's going to work, rather than just guess and pretend we know what's going to work. We get that advice. We need to try and get it right first time. We get a very, very small window of opportunity. So if we are being allowed to, go out there, communicate it, and show this to our colleagues, we have to get it right. So not much pressure, we plan. We don't do, we plan for the whole year. So yes, it's a big bang. We've just launched Smart Hub, and it's very exciting, and it's a big bang this week. But we're going to plan it. We need to plan it for the whole year. We don't want to sort of overdo it. And we need to sort of drip feed and trickle that through, keeping it up in everyone's foremind. Advocates are absolutely vital, and that can be anybody. That's from the leadership team to people on the shop floor. When people are engaged, they are engaged, and they spread the word, and that's just amazing to see. We did an event at head office on Tuesday. People coming over, we had sweets, they just wanted a bag of sweets, got them talking about my benefits, and then when you hear other people talking about it, the excitement, we literally have had hordes of people all wanting to tell their story the loudest, which was exciting. Again, look at the words we're using. We're used to the jargon. We know what the jargon means, but actually don't expect that your colleagues are going to know what that means. So get people to look at it. I quite often say to someone, can you just have a look at this? Make sure it's not to me, and the audience are going to sort of understand it. So, as I said, we worked very, very closely with Reward Gateway. So we did produce a very detailed plan, and we worked very hard on the communication tools. With the communication plan, we don't keep it between ourselves. We share it with the wider audience. So we share it sort of with our leadership teams, sort of our champions in call centres, distribution. It's a working document. We keep adding to it. We share it so people can sort of keep up to date with what we're doing. We use different communications, there's different groups, there's different forums, so we got sort of slots on the forums, again, engage with people on the forums, made sure they understood what a great benefit it is and why they should really help us cascade it. We use existing champions. As Debbie mentioned, we have Argos transformers in the Argos stores. They're brilliant. Again, make sure the information is clear so they understand how brilliant it is, and they'll then help us. We use Yammer, that's our social media network, that's brilliant. We did a few posts, and before long it was just gone crazy, which is brilliant. So, and after launch day, people going on, this is just amazing, I've just got this and I've got this, and, it's really, really exciting. We understand that Smart Hub is brilliant, but actually we understand it can't engage the workforce, but it is a great tool. So it's just making sure that all the managers know what a great tool it is, especially in these difficult times. We engaged the leadership teams. We begged and we borrowed. We went with Al. And we did manage to claw some budget, calling in some favours, and I think we got £450 in the end, which actually allowed us to do all of our printing, which was amazing. As I said, we use Yammer, our social network, which is brilliant. We provided really good manager briefings to our managers, but we kept them really to the point, what they needed to know. Again, slightly different for Argos and Homebase because they have a different kind of language, if you like, because they do get a lot of information. So we had to make sure what we gave them was fit for purpose and they would engage and share that. Area manager weekly calls, we got a little slot on those again, so that area managers knew what their stores were receiving, and again, help us cascade this message. We sent emails. We did separate emails, so we did one for HR, just saying, come on, help us. This is, you need to start spreading the word. We did separate ones to line managers, again, briefing why they need to be briefing their teams. We did posters, we did desk drops, we did flyers. We did TV screen presentations in our distribution centres. They work really well. So as you can see here, this is our event at head office. This is Leanne and my team looking, bless her, with so table toppers, flyers. We did little sweets and put little stickers on them. So if you go into our toilets at work, in the mirrors, there's posters. You go to the coffee machines, there's posters. So we did an awful lot to communicate it. So we won't let it become wallpaper, but again, sort of month on month, we will start, refresh that and make sure it's fresh in everyone's mind.
So, as you can see, we did quite a lot, and the only costs that we had were really on some printing. Other than that, most of those things are free. So, was it engaging? Did it work? George Bernard Shaw said the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. So we had 2 immediate measures this week following launch on Monday to see whether or not we'd had any effect with all our communications. One was the take-up statistics, and the other was feedback. So let's just have a look. These are our take-up stats, which was on launch day itself. So colleagues spent nearly 16,000 through the site, which was an increase of 114% on what we'd normally do. And again, you can see all of these massive percentages. 710 orders were placed, increase of 631%. And that has continued every single day. So I think after day 4, we were 75,000 or something spent. So it's just continued. And we can see that it's right across the organisation as well. So we know that the communications got out there and colleagues have reacted. But best of all was the feedback.
Yeah.
So Yammer, as we talked about, is very well used within Home Retail Group, and we had some fantastic people yammering, some really lovely messages. I'm not going to read them to you, you can read them there. And that's continued again all week, and we've also had emails about it all, and people very excited about the different discounts and things that they've got. And the great thing about things like Yammer is it's not coming from us, it's not coming from head office or corporate, it's coming from the colleagues themselves, and that's so much more powerful. As the same with the advocates, that really, really works. So in summary, yes, it is possible to have engaging communications on a very tight budget with a large and diverse workforce. We eventually spent a grand total of £450, so that's less than a penny a person. On all our Smart Hub launch communications, and the stats and the feedback are showing that they have been engaging, that they have worked. It's possible, but it's not easy. It does require a lot of thought, a lot of planning, and a lot of support from the right people. But for us, it was worth it when we got this particular email from an executive director who took the time at the end of launch day to say, great stuff, well done to all. This benefit is so relevant to so many of our colleagues, and we should never forget that. Thanks for all your hard work. Now, that's an engaging communication. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.